Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Zelda 2 Max Rando tournament match between Jackimus and RoseCitySaint. I'd like to introduce you to my commentators, Melee Wizard and Frico. Hey, guys.
Thank you, Bleeding Blue. And this is going to be a good one. It's not necessarily one you would expect to see on the losers bracket. RoseCitySaint and Jackimus. This is going to be a real close race, I would think.
Well, RoseCitySaint losing his first match in the bracket in what can only be determined an upset to Nightcrawler. RoseCitySaint is our defending champion, and where you would figure he would have no place being is losers bracket round 1. Jackimus, I believe, losing to Paratroopa. This is going to be a fun one.
Oh, yes.
And unfortunately, as much as you want to have runners stay in, whoever loses this one's going to be out of the tournament.
Yeah, and that's what Randomizer is all about. Sometimes you just get a interesting seed, and sometimes it just doesn't go your way. And you see we have the Thunder Spell, the Raft, 4 crystals, and 1 heart. Just that kind of start is going to make things very interesting.
Ooh,
Also,
Jackimus.
the vanilla 3 lives, but at this point, until they're able to at least get some life levels, they probably can't afford to take a hit from any of the stronger enemies right now.
Yeah, this looks a lot like a race with involving Victor Santa Fe and who's he up against? Bent Glass Tube, I believe, a couple days ago. Where they started with 1 life, and it was just all deaths all the time, and it it was just a war of attrition until you could get to a P-bag, take down enough enemies to finally, get the first couple life levels. And I think it took life level 4 before it stopped being a one-hit KO fest.
Yeah, so it's depending on how the enemies shake out, it might take a while for either of our runners to get very far. And we have there's the cross. Not the sort of thing you want to see early, but there you go. But with a 4 crystal seed, there's a chance that Reflect won't be required. And I would say there's a chance Thunder won't be required, but we started with it, so that's a non-issue.
Yeah, Thunder is definitely a non-issue, as is potentially Reflect, I believe.
Yeah, since Palace 4 is not necessarily required, and it looks like Jackim is finding our first Palace, and it's one of either 3 or 6. And I think that's still inconclusive.
Well, welcome to Randomizer, where you're not entirely sure of what it is you're getting into. Jackimus
knows the getting a P-bag and gets that life too. That could make a big difference too.
Yeah, at this point, I'm actually looking for a P-bag. If I were one of the runners, I would be like, okay, get me out of this life 1. Aside from a heart container, which would be absolutely ideal.
Although, given the the nature of Max Rando, there's no guarantee that we'll even see any heart containers.
Well, that aforementioned race that happened a couple days ago, there was one heart container out in the wild, so they ended on 2.
And
but for about an hour and 15 minutes, they were on one heart.
I noticed Jackimus Wedge got a hint at King's Tomb that the glove was in the west. So we know it's in one of these caves or tiles. We know it's not in a palace and it's not in Death Mountain.
Okay, I was just about to ask that because the hints always throw me off. That it can't be in any of the palaces that may appear because it would say that particular boss has Jackimus finding a bit of a dead end there. Ooh,
yeah. And if it was Death Mountain, it would have specifically said Death Mountain.
Okay. So it's going to be one of the at-large caves, like a medicine cave, a trophy cave.
Right. And Jackimus finding Mido and doesn't have the means of getting anything, and he just not even bothering to get the hint. I'm thinking if he had like either jump or fairy to get downstab, maybe he would have gotten the hint, but as it stands, no. Probably not worth the effort right now.
Well,
pardon.
This is just, RoseCitySaint has a pea bag and he's going to fight for it. That might, 120, I believe, is going to get a magic 2 if he can survive long enough to get the rest of the way there.
Yeah, but this seed is making our runners work for every inch.
Ooh.
At the Life 3 at 130, yeah, I don't blame him for that one.
Yeah, I would skip over Magic 2 to get Life 3 in this situation. Absolutely. I do not disagree with RoseCitySaint here.
Especially since the only spell you have is Thunder, and it's not going to make it...
Yeah, you're not casting that.
I don't think you'd be able to cast it either which way, so there's no point.
So it looks like Jackimus continuing the exploration.
I think that castle was our starting point.
And so, yeah, I was kind of going, all right, Jackimus, why aren't you heading into that palace? As we see,
that was our starting point, yeah.
Yeah, Jackimus, just a little to the west of where the starting palace is. RoseCitySaint probably heading south now. Gonna
find Mido. And gonna turn around and walk right back out.
Yeah, no way to get downstab, no way to get the spell. Not much reason to be in that particular town at this point.
At least you have the knowledge that it's there, and I now notice no quick access to the raft spot either. So we can't even check the east to see if there's anything more palatable there.
Wow.
Well, I mean, as far as, finding items or something.
I was gonna say, if I were in a restaurant, it'd be like, waiter, I'd like a refund, send it back. Please give harp containers this time. Ooh, RoseCitySaint finding a key in the drop pool, which was a pretty important resource in the race we had earlier today.
Oh, yes. Who knows where that magical key will end up, or fairy for that matter.
It still bothers me to this very second that I don't know what the old lady's item was in that seed from this morning. But, I guess I'll have to wait a bit, as,
It'll be a mystery for the ages.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jackimus ever got the item out of Medicine Cave here. It looks like RoseCitySaint's going to take a... No, I guess not.
Well, with what we've seen so far, we've found the cross, a couple towns. RoseCitySaint may actually consider the palace. Farm an iron knuckle for some XP?
Not a bad idea. It's only given 50 though, so it might not be that worth it.
Well, you get 2 of them, and that'll get you
Magic 2.
It's
for all that gives us at the moment.
And of course, RoseCitySaint's going to get trolled and get red potion after red potion. So RoseCitySaint farming iron knuckles to get what looks to be Magic 2.
Oh, he might be going for Attack 2 instead. Or no, getting Magic 2 instead.
Yeah, checking Thunder, and it's still at 115, so...
Yeah, no surprise.
That's, well, let's see, we've got 64, so, yeah, barely castable at, full magic.
Which we don't have.
No. A couple magic jars away from that one. Well, it looks like, oh, RoseCitySaint, taking a boop, and, might actually be trying to get that attack level. It looks like he's still on.
Honestly, I would have gone for Attack 2 instead of Magic 2. Especially with the Iron Knuckle only given 50. If it gave you like 100 or 150, maybe, but going for 50 with all these 50-50 chances to even get one in the first place.
Yeah, he's gonna have to kill 2 more of them now. He'll be literally 1 XP short. Which is kind of just a kick in the pants, but RoseCitySaint has to defeat 1 more Iron Knuckle. I believe he's got 1 life left, or maybe it's his last life. No, RoseCitySaint on 159 of 160, and
yeah, because like pretty much anything will get him over the top there. There we go.
Yeah, it will. Jackimus, in an encounter where there's a pea bag, so he's going to try to battle his way to the pea bag, and it looks like he's victorious. So that's our first level up for Jackimus to life 2. For how mightily RoseCitySaint is struggling, he's...
And it looks like RoseCitySaint is taking a stab at getting through Jump Cave here. I know Jackimus was in here earlier and didn't have much luck.
Well, you pretty much get looked at the wrong way and you're donezo.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that point. But it feels like it's either that or diving the palace. That's really the only option our runners have right now.
I mean, RoseCitySaint's at a point where he's going in blind against a gorilla that's throwing boomerangs at him. So...
Well, Jackimus made progress. He wasn't being one-shot by the blue gorillas anymore.
So RoseCitySaint's basically in a 50-50 guessing game with a gorilla, and it's like, okay, well, I'm the gorilla, and I can flip the coin to whichever side I call. So yeah, call heads, I'll flip it tails. Thanks for playing.
Ooh, Jackimus makes it across the bridge to a whole lot of nothing.
Oh, come on. There was some nice wetland real estate there. That could be, you know, maybe a nice vacation home for somebody in the future. Well, Jackimus might have the idea of going into Palace, even
maybe
just to look
to
for an
grind.
item.
Maybe to grind.
Yeah, he might be doing the same. Yeah, it
He's
looks
gonna
like
be disappointed when he sees that 50 come up, but that might be the best option we got, just to grind a life level or two, just to be able to live for more than like 10 seconds.
yeah. And it looks like Jackimus is getting a little better RNG, but he's pushing the Iron Knuckle backward, and that's going to cost him a couple seconds every fight, whereas RoseCitySaint was able to jump across the other side and push the golem back toward the statue, or excuse me, the Iron Knuckle.
And it looks like
farming
RoseCitySaint's
simulator.
yeah, and RoseCitySaint's going back to. Oh boy, we might be here for a little bit.
We really should have considered finding a random thing to talk about, so we'd have something to go through the run with as we're watching some Farming Simulator 2020 action here.
I did look into who the winner of this race would be up against. It was the other half of this matchup is what Level Engine versus somebody. I forget who it was now though.
Dr. J, PhD.
Ah, yes, that's right. Oh, Jackimus taking another stab at Medicine Cave. And Medicine Cave taking more stabs at him.
Yeah, unfortunately, with all of the enemies that are just kind of there, you can kind of see them coming, but you got them flying in around, you got them crawling around a gorilla that you can somehow see, but probably not going to help too much.
Yeah, that palette is somehow, for whatever reason, visible in dark caves.
And RoseCitySaint farming up to life 4 now.
Mm-hmm.
So a distinct advantage. Oh no, Jackimus going into meet his doom yet again.
Well, it's possible they might be able to get by, or not. It looks like RoseCitySaint is following suit. Because if there's a heart container here, that would be very, very nice for our runners right now.
Well, the problem with this cave is you can't just kind of Rambo your way through it. You've got a gorilla that's gonna nail you with boomerangs. RoseCitySaint then, running into what look like 2 spear guys at the end. Mm-hmm. And it's a cave you want to take slow, but you can't because you got them little things crawling around on the bottom.
Yeah, the bogos are a pain even when you can see them.
And it's just like, how do you get through this? I mean, it's just ugly.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, going through Jump Cave really isn't much better, but I think it's either that, it's Jump Cave, Medicine Cave, or the Palace, whether it's 3 or 6. None of these options look good.
I'd almost try my luck with the Palace, knowing what I've seen so far. It's just a disaster.
Yeah, at least with the Palace you can see what's coming, but still it's still not a nice thing to consider.
I mean, I could almost see like a little 3-step.
He made it through. RoseCitySaint made it through the first screen, and oh geez, we got a red Dyra, which and he made it through. That's another 100. Oh, and there's another one too.
Ooh, how he saw that one is that's impressive. It looks like oh no, RoseCitySaint getting bopped by an invisible enemy.
I think it was one of those hopping enemies. I forget what they're called now, but
Well, I think he might be able to. Oh,
Yep,
yep,
I was right. It was one, and all that for extra life. Oh no! Oh no, that's just mean. Succeed. Why do you have to be so mean?
Oh. Well, Jackimus seems to have gotten through the jump cave.
No, he's not. That's just the
of
first
it.
screen. There's still like two
Okay,
more screens
yeah,
to go
okay.
through.
Yeah, I just saw that boomerang come and bop him on the head.
Boy, that's one option off the table. Thanks for RoseCitySaint. So it's jump cave or the palace, I guess. Although I think there was at least one other cave. I forget what was. Actually, I think that led to a dead end. I think.
Yeah, it dead ended into that closed-in area.
Yeah, I remember now.
So, like, am I gonna have to roll the next seed because this one is? We may have to revoke your privileges here.
Well, yeah, we'll have to see what happens here.
So, I don't know. Jackimus seems to be on the game over screen and not too pleased, but I can't see if he's saying anything in the IRC chat.
I do see, and I'm not sure if I'm at liberty to say what it is as of yet.
Oh, that's all right.
Of course, if Jackimus is calling for a reroll, if RoseCitySaint is like me and keeps IRC minimized during this, who knows if he'd even see it anyway.
Well, it's entirely possible. I think, knowing what I know about RoseCitySaint, he is absolutely laser focused on the task at hand, and he's actually cleared the Gorilla. So, got speared right at the end of that fight. So, if RoseCitySaint can make it through Jump Cave, we have the potential to see something new.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and RoseCitySaint able to see the enemy right there at the end of the ledge.
And yeah, there is still one more screen, potentially with more gorillas in it.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, you can look right at the end there. Oh, he's getting bonked by something. Oh, no.
Ooh,
a spear guy and a gorilla, both in that little alcove. Oh, this is rough.
Ooh, wow, a 500 P-Mag. It's not going to get him much right now, but if he can survive to get that last little bit of experience.
If he can kill this guy and somehow...
No.
Oh, no. Oh, what a shame. If he could have killed that, the spear enemy, that would have given him the 580 he needed, I believe. So it looks like RoseCitySaint headed back in and just gonna try to soldier his way through.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and it looks like it's confirmed. We are gonna have a reroll, and given how little options, I honestly don't blame them.
Yeah, this was Ouchtown population. These guys, because that was the only thing that I could possibly see is trying to explore that palace, because both of those caves seem to be near impossible. But
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, given the nature of palaces, really the only upside would be, the ability to actually, see the enemies.
well, you might be able to dig out an item which somehow helps, maybe, possibly. But I'm putting more stock in the item that I would get from the palace than the palace itself. If you get what I mean.
I'm sorry, I didn't actually catch what you were saying. I was focusing on what was going on in IRC.
All right. So, due to the issues with this seed, we're going to reset everything back to 0 and roll a new seed for our runners.
And for the record, I was the one that rolled the first seed.
Well, I think you're going to have to re-roll this next one. So
yeah, it's just a matter of whether they want me to do it.
Yeah, well, they don't exactly have an option B.
And I don't see an objection, so.
I mean, I could do it, but then I could also go stand out in the middle of the road in traffic.
Which is
that I could
never
do
a
it.
good idea.
Yeah, exactly. That I could do it doesn't mean I should do it.
All right. Let's see what other bit of madness I send to them this time.
All right, so I believe you're in control of the tracker.
Yes,
So
I am.
we'll have
so
to wipe the board of the items that they presently have.
I'm
from the
I'm
previous
scouting
seed.
the seat just to see what they're starting with, just so I know what I'm putting in. Okay, so it's a 2-gem seed. Start with the raft and the boots.
Oh no.
So it looks better, at least, if only in comparison to what we just had. So
Is that because they have more than one heart to start with?
yes, they do. Yes, they do. They have 3.
Wow. Upgrade.
Yep, and a couple other things. There we go.
Oh, so we could potentially just dive right in for palaces, starting with fairy.
Mm-hmm. And the fairy was in the Rudo spot, hence the trophy being marked already. And I believe I mentioned it was a 2-gem seed, so just by that nature, it should be a bit, just a little bit shorter, maybe.
Oh, looking at Jackimus's screen on the file select. All right, so for those that may not have joined us right from the start, we've had a little issue with the first seed that was rolled. So the first 28 minutes, just kind of make like that never existed. A new seed has been rolled. It looks like a new timer has been dragged out, and let's see if we can't get things going here for round 2.
Still didn't start with any sword techniques, but I believe I did one thing I forgot to mention. They only have 2 lives, but 3 hearts is still a heck of a lot better.
Well, 3 hearts by 2 lives is better than 3 lives by 1 heart.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take it.
And well, we've got Magic Container Cave right off the bat.
Ooh, a Gorilla that seems to have his buddy tag teaming RoseCitySaint. Jackimus about to find that nasty little surprise. Even with 3 hearts, this we get a cave right off the bat. Not exactly an easy one to deal with. Looks like both runners deciding that it's best to just simply move on and try their fortunes elsewhere.
And Jackimus finds the back end of Saria.
Now, if Fairy was castable, do you actually just go for it and jump over to the other side?
I didn't look to see how much it costs.
Well, that's why I predicated what I said by if Fairy were castable.
Right,
If it's
yeah.
above 64, then that's a negative.
And the candle's on Maze Island, so that's good to know. And we're seeing 1-up drops, 1-up as an item drop for Jackimus. Okay, that's a good thing to see. And that is P1 for RoseCitySaint.
Yeah, RoseCitySaint doing pretty good with his exploration. Getting his life too, so that might help with survivability, and skipping over the 130-point threshold, so it might be going straight for life 3.
Well, I think he might be going for attack 2. 'Cause I think he skipped past life 3.
Attack 2, definitely a viable option as well.
And RoseCitySaint finding Death Mountain, not having much of it, and Jackimus finding Mido. I'm guessing Fairy must not be castable right now, because he would have definitely gone for downstab if he could.
Well, one thing that you have to also consider, and I don't want to really say it, but I think it could be a factor. When you kind of had to have the bleed through from one seed to the next, where you kind of go, okay, I have Thunder from the first seed.
Ooh, there's the hammer for RoseCitySaint.
Yeah, that's definitely a great find. So Jackimus may not realize that he has Fairy instead of Thunder, but no, it looked like 70-something as RoseCitySaint opened up his spell inventory.
Yeah, that's a no-go for Fairy right now.
So I guess I can throw that theory out the window, but at this point, Magic 2, let's see if that changes anything. Oh, Fairy down to 46.
46, okay, yep, that works.
The chatters are saying that RoseCitySaint is listed as quitting. But,
probably it might just be registering it from the previous seed, maybe.
Okay, so I don't know if you're able to potentially look into that, but for those of you that are coming in late, as I see there's a message that a raid has occurred,
Yep. Hello, ZSR2.
Yeah, both of our runners were given a seed about half an hour ago that was brutal, savage.
That might be putting it mildly.
But at the end, both of them just simply got wrecked, and they agreed to re-roll the seed. So now we're on take 2.
Ooh, go west to find the glove. Ooh, good hit.
All right. So we have
and with RoseCitySaint in Mido, he's getting that down stab, and that will make life a heck of a lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Jackimus may be making a slight tactical error here with not going straight for the down stab as well. He knows he can cast it. He knows where it is. I mean, we'll see. You know, not every move is made the same, so
yeah.
You know, Jackimus may just have a different plan in mind.
Yeah, perhaps knowing where Mido is, by focusing more on getting some exploration done, and if he happens to game over or up A or what have you, just like he just did. And I did not see what the hint was for the medicine.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. I was looking at Jackimus' side of the screen, so hopefully chat can help us out a little bit there with what the medicine hint was.
And RoseCitySaint finding P4, so we have P1 and P4 so far on the western side. Thank you. 7-8 time confirming that the medicine was in the east.
All right, so we know the candle is in Maze Island.
Ooh, and there's the raft spot. Pretty easily accessible.
Yeah, I think it's entirely possible that we could finish this seed without even going on to the eastern continent. If our last at-large palace is the Great Palace, the only thing we would need to find is Reflect.
Yeah, but yeah, Jackimus diving into P1, it appears.
I mean, it is a little bit of theory crafting, but you know, with the 2 palaces and 2 crystals, I don't know. 1 and 4 seem like, at least from a ability to complete standpoint, fairly straightforward.
Well, Jackimus finds Horsehead in short order.
Now, is Horsehead going to give at least 170 EXP here?
Ooh, there's the glove for RoseCitySaint. Nice. Bear in mind, Jackimus is fighting Horsehead at attack 1, so this is...
Yeah, this fight is lasting a lot longer than I'm used to, because usually it's like 2 hits and you're donezo. But,
and the rare death to Horsehead, too. You don't see that very often.
No. So Jackimus, maybe getting a little ahead of himself, getting whacked with a mace there.
And there's a 1-up at the grass tile.
Now, if Jackimus were to have gone back for downstab, couldn't you just essentially jackhammer Horsehead?
I'm not sure if it works quite that well, but it'll definitely make the fight easier for sure. But Jackimus gets the job done. And RoseCitySaint finds Ruto, which is utterly pointless because we already have the spell. But there's Saria.
So at this
and did Jackimus just burned a gem?
Looks like it.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's... Interesting
Bold.
decision when you're at 1, 2, 3.
That was a very bold play, to put it bluntly.
I might have to ask him about that one. Well, let's see what the spell is from Saria. And it is the Thunder spell. Ooh. Okay.
Okay. So that opens up the possibility of being able to get through Great Palace at this point.
Assuming you can afford it, yeah.
Yeah. Not all the way, but it kind of starts to pry the door open, I guess. It's probably...
Oh boy, here we got Medicine Cave again. But with Downstab, it's a heck of a lot easier than before.
Yeah, this is definitely a more forgiving version of Medicine Cave than what we had in the first seed.
Which is kind of ironic, considering we've got the Dyras about.
Yeah, I know. Red Dyras in a more forgiving item cave. It doesn't really compute, but
that's a
we're seeing a
P-bag.
P-bag.
Well, if it's a 500 P-bag, that's still kind of worth it at this early stage.
Ooh.
And you get another one for free. Yes, please.
Wow, buy one, get one free on P-bags, it seems.
Nice.
So,
I think...
Is
that just enough? Ooh, not quite enough for attack 4. Oh, boy.
So, RoseCitySaint out to a massive lead on levels. Working on attack 4, while Jackimus, unfortunately, on 1, 2, 3 for his levels.
He does have that one palace advantage at the moment, and Jackimus is making his way through Trophy Cave, and then dies in Trophy Cave.
I would say that one palace, given how quickly it was dealt with, not exactly going to be much of an issue on RoseCitySaint's side.
Oh no, I highly doubt that. Now it's just a matter of, will either of our runners dig the item out of there?
Well, with what RoseCitySaint has available to him, I would say yes, because you're
There's
really
a
hoping
200-point P-bag, but it's enough for attack 2.
I would say yes, because at this point, the likelihood of a heart or a magic jar is just going up and up at this point.
And we've got Raruru for RoseCitySaint, so that's another free spell. And a free heal as well, which might be just as important right now.
Yeah, very true. RoseCitySaint, if we get a decent spell out of here, Reflect perhaps, that would satisfy the True Crystal requirement. So, with 1 and 4...
And there it is!
Wow.
Holy cow! Okay.
So
we still haven't found that the third palace on the western side. But things just got interesting.
Yeah, but we have Palace 1 and Palace 4 already known and, for all intents and purposes, able to be finished.
And RoseCitySaint getting that attack 4 and promptly upping, and I don't blame him for that.
I think this should put RoseCitySaint into Palace 1 and 4 at this point.
Yeah.
I don't see what he would want to do otherwise as Jackimus finds his glove. And here we go.
Going right into 1. No, actually, no. That's 3-6.
Is our mystery dungeon.
That's either 3 or 6. And that's still inconclusive for me.
Yeah, we know it's 3 or 6.
And, well, There's the item room. And that confirms that it's 3, I guess, since normally it'll be if it was 6, it would be a Rebanak guarding it.
Yeah. So Palace 1, 3, and 4 in the west. So we're definitely going to have to go east.
And it's a P-Bag.
Ooh, so we hit the whammy for Rose-City-Saint.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess Rose-City-Saint deciding 1 and 3 perhaps for his palaces.
Not the worst decision.
Now,
since we haven't even seen anything from the east yet, just taking what options you got right now, that's not bad.
No, but I think Jackimus might just go into Palace 4 at this point with Reflect in hand.
Thought. I didn't see how much Reflect cost.
Oh, minor details. Well, it looks like Jackimus is still exploring, so apparently not too thrilled with the idea of just going right into Palace 4.
Well, he's pretty much retracing RoseCitySaint steps.
So Jackimus is probably, or hopefully going to remember that he has the ability to go get downstab.
Yeah, that would be kind of an unfortunate thing to miss out on. And Reflect's castable at least at Magic 3.
Yeah, so 52 for RoseCitySaint, and he's at Magic 3.
Mm-hmm. Skillful dodging of the Doomknocker axes.
So Jackimus about to pick up, I believe, Thunder.
Yep.
So this should give Jackimus all of the absolutely required... Well, I shouldn't say absolutely required, but very likely required spells.
Ooh, and
Thunder
RoseCitySaint forgetting that he had a key. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunately, it will use the key even if you're ferried.
Mm-hmm.
So Jackimus gonna ferry his way through the first part of Medicine Cave. So let's see if he is able to get a teabag buffet. Is RoseCitySaint gonna be up against Rebanak?
With downstab, this should be a non-issue.
Yeah, very much so. I think RoseCitySaint...
Although that horse was kind of tanky.
This Iron Knuckle's gonna be a pain in the butt. Gotta get him set up just right. Oh, looks like RoseCitySaint might have got him.
Yeah. And down goes the Rebanak, as Jackimus gets his pee bag out of Medicine Cave.
Alright, so RoseCitySaint dunking Palace 3's Crystal. I can only assume that he would go straight to Palace 1 at this point, satisfy his 2 crystal requirement, and then see what nonsense is waiting us in Palace, the Great Palace, excuse me. Yeah, there we go, RoseCitySaint, right into Palace 1.
Yep. Meanwhile, Jackimus is heading into P4. Or, okay, stepped into P4.
Yeah, just a little refresher on where exactly P4 was, I think, for Jackimus. I believe
there's
Mido,
so
he's looking for.
He's definitely going to get his downstab now. A little surprised he didn't get the, go get that heal, but oh well. Maybe he might be planning on up-Aing after this, just to save him the time to walk out.
Yeah, RoseCitySaint.
RoseCitySaint making a lot quicker work out of Horsehead. It's amazing what happens when you're at attack 4.
Yeah, as opposed to attack 1.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
But one thing that kind of might be a bit of a concern, with only 2 gems, you see, RoseCitySaint's at 444. Who knows if he's going to get much more than that?
that's very true, but I think, given that this is Max Rando, and RoseCitySaint is our defending champion, I'm going to jump out on a limb and say that RoseCitySaint might be much more better equipped to deal with this than I think Jackimus may be.
Meanwhile, Jackimus is taking the trip to the East End, RoseCitySaint not far behind.
You know, at least for RoseCitySaint, he knows the Great Palace has to be over here.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to hit one whammy with an item, which I believe is the medicine, on the cave, since we know we have to go west for that.
RoseCitySaint finds Maze Island, and there's 2 items here in a palace. But we know one of them one of the items is a candle, which isn't the worst thing to find.
No, being able to see in the dark. Oh, okay.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that lever was quite
surprise!
good.
I'm just gonna spawn right on your face.
Yeah, but it looks like it's even with the boots, Maze Island is proving to be quite linear here in the early going. And Jackimus finding Darunia says no to that.
Oh,
Let's
he
get
said-
another P bag, which is always nice in this case, since you kind of need levels right now.
Yeah, very true. I think Jackimus may be looking for Palace 2 at this point.
Possibly.
Well, I mean, Alright, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Mhm.
In a perfect world, aside from Palace 1, what is the quickest palace to finish?
I'm not
Or
entirely sure,
potentially to
honestly.
finish? I mean, you could get a 2-room palace, which just kind of happens here or there, but,
Yeah, 2 could be trolly at times. You have Victor Santa Fe in chat saying 3, which isn't a bad thing. 4 has a number of dead ends in it, and it's just 5 and 6 are just no. Speaking
Yeah.
of 5, that's 5 right there.
yeah, RoseCitySaint finding Palace 5, so I think just gonna look for the remaining item in Maze Island, and that's gonna be it for him.
And there it is. Jackimus finding the child, and there's the key, which is still useful for him. And a magic container for RoseCitySaint, which is useful all the time.
Yeah, that may actually enable Thunder.
The Thunder's at 76.
Yeah, he's got 80 right now, so he can cast it.
Yeah. We don't know if it's required, but it's nice to have.
Well, I'd rather go into Great Palace knowing that, alright, I'll throw away a life, be able to actually cast Thunder and take on the Thunderbird, instead of going, oh crap, now I gotta go and hunt for, an item just so I can, get past this obstacle that's now presented itself.
Ooh, Jackimus finds a palace. 1/3 chance. It is P6. But he's close to a level, so he'll take the opportunity, and the Iron Knuckle also still giving 50.
Yeah, Jackimus, I'm somewhat surprised that he's going after P6.
It's just the opportunity. Because he has Fairy, he has the key, he's got pretty much everything he needs to get through this.
I mean, it feels like the opportunity may have, pardon the expression, but passed him by. Just because 3 and 4 were readily available and he passed up on them for whatever reason. But, I guess, that's why we get to interview people at the end of the race, so we'll see what happens.
It's always interesting seeing people's mindsets in moments like this.
Oh, RoseCitySaint finding the...
Ooh, nice thunder usage right there. Got about 600 experience, I think that was.
Yeah, that's going to be big for RoseCitySaint having Thunder unlocked. And going to take a magic up.
Take that magic 5. And I believe that is Darunia, yep. And yeah, he's going in. He's going to get that upstab.
I'm actually surprised that Jackimus didn't use Fairy to grab upstab while he was there.
I know some runners can be kind of iffy towards upstab, whether it's worth the time it takes to get it if that's the only thing you're getting out of Darunia.
Well, it's another one of those things where it's like, okay, it could be...
Jackimus gets to Barba.
Oh, this will be interesting at attack 4, but Barba only on 5 blocks of life, so...
Yeah, so his health was nerfed a bit. But yeah, with attack 4, this will still take at least a little while.
Yeah, still having to get a couple hits in to knock down one of the blocks of life, but down to 2, well, halfway home. Ooh, boy. That was no kissing Barba. No, that's bad. And RoseCitySaint finding the key, but at this point, that's of very little value to him.
Yeah, since he's looking for GP.
Yeah, absolutely. Down goes Barba for Jackimus, so RoseCitySaint trying to Fairy Feet through an encounter. And did he just get another encounter right after it?
I did not see. Either that or the Fairy Feet didn't work.
Jackimus burning off another gem, it looked like.
Yeah, he did. That's in a 2-gem seed, burning both of them. And wow, that is a very tiny Valley of Death.
Well, Jackimus is about to find... Oh, Jackimus first into the Great Palace at 2750. Ooh.
Okay.
So here's to hopefully not having a upstab block, but RoseCitySaint about to wander into Great Palace.
Holy cow! There's Thunderbird right there. Jackimus cannot afford Thunder right now.
Oh no!
So he's going to go back and hope that Dark
not
Link
the
is
right
the other
way.
Oh boy, this is interesting. The thing is, in Max Rando, there's no guarantee that Thunderbird is required.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 shot. Yeah.
It could just be that Thunderbird happens to be in the way, but we don't know that.
Yeah,
we won't know that until we actually find Darklink.
Yeah, this Thunderbird fight could be entirely a red herring on RoseCitySaint's side. There could be a dead end right on the other side of it.
Mm-hmm. Let's see RoseCitySaint up A's, and we'll see what decision he makes here.
Yeah, RoseCitySaint didn't seem to really want too much with that Thunderbird fight.
Now, after the first death, I don't... With attack 4... It's a bit of a time sink to try to fight Thunderbird at attack 4. So this might be Thunderbird might be a last resort, and
that's a negative.
That's a dead end.
Hitting a dead end, going So Rose City Saint's going to have to bite the bullet. Jackimus finding new Kasuto.
Mm-hmm. Definitely won't have enough magic for the first item, but it's a full 7.
Ew.
We likely will not be seeing what... Jackimus is not even going to bother getting the spell. He's just going to leave.
Well, that's somewhat surprising, but 500-point P-Bag, getting him close to what I believe will be Magic 4.
I didn't see how much Thunder cost at Magic 5.
I believe it was castable for Rose City Saint. It was 70-something.
Okay, so if it's still like 70, so then Jackimus... Magic 5 wouldn't be enough for Jackimus. He'll still need to find a magic container.
So Rose City Saint is now going to head off to try to take on Thunderbird. So this is going to be...
It's the only option we got.
Yeah.
And Jackimus finds an item cave. Let's see if he can get through here.
Fairy?
Having the cross doesn't do any good without the candle.
Well, he found a bat and smacked it. There goes another one. Fairy! Do it! Do it! Oh, almost denied right at the end, but Rose City Saint taking the L to Thunderbird, so Jackimus using
and
Fairy, and there's the medicine.
There's the medicine. Okay. We don't know what that'll give, but it probably... What could it be right now that would actually help in this situation? Like, Shield is nice, but you don't have enough magic to cast both Thunder and Shield right now.
Fire linked to something. Like, that's kind of like the wing and a prayer. Fire linked to life, maybe?
Well, we know it's not linked to Thunder, that's for sure. Because we'd be seeing fire from Rose City Saint's sword right now if it was.
Correct. Yeah, it's a two-way street with the fire spell. Fire is linked to a certain spell, and it goes both ways. So if you cast whatever is linked to fire, it will activate fire as well.
And one notable thing, I believe, Rose City Saint has to flawless this fight. You can't take any hits.
Oh, that's just going to be brutal in the second half, where...
that's where we're at.
Garbage all over the place.
We're at the second half now. 3 bars left. Still 3 bars. Down to 2. Okay. Though the one big down. Ouch!
Getting tagged. Oh, what a shame. So Rose City Saint noping out of Great Palace.
I'm thinking grinding for magic level, for attack level maybe at some point.
Well, he's gonna do something, and it looks like Rose City Saint gonna get the bad news. At this point, are we hoping for the spell from New Kasuto, so then we can go into the spell tower and dig an item?
Maybe. I mean, anything would be of at least some help right now. Not necessarily against the Thunderbird fight itself, but.
All right. So
that's the fire spell, and I couldn't really tell what that was linked to. Actually, I think it was a different tunic color. I think it's shield.
It's either shield or life, because he had full life, so...
Yeah, but I saw the tunic change color, and that's shield.
Okay.
Sure.
If the tunic changes color, then that's definitely shield. Which... Not the worst thing, because now Rose City Saint will be able to at least take a hit if he's able...
He can't afford it.
He won't be able to cast both right yet, though. Okay.
Right.
All right, so
either
Jackimus now has his 5th magic bar.
Mm-hmm.
So Jackimus can cast Thunder.
Yep. And Rose City Saint finds the other item cave. I think this was not the one that Jackimus found.
Alright, because Jackimus found the medicine.
Mhm. And it's another magic jar.
Oh, wow.
I
So this
think
opens up Great
that
Palace
might
for
be able to
Rose City
make
Saint
him.
now.
I think if that might be just enough to be able to cast Thunder and Shield. Just enough.
Well, he went from 80 to 96, and Thunder is 70-something, so long as
Just
Fire
enough.
is less than 20. Yeah.
The combined is 95, which I think the game kind of rounds up to 96 on this, but
Well, either
But still,
way,
that's
he's got
just
the ability
enough.
to cast both now.
holy cow, that was huge.
So Jackimus gonna head back into Great Palace, I'm assuming, as is RoseCitySaint, but
Mhm.
RoseCitySaint with a huge advantage of being able to, well, maybe a little bit of an assumption, but I think it's a safe one, to say RoseCitySaint casting both Shield and Thunder may be able to take one or two hits, and that might be enough for RoseCitySaint to finish this off.
Yeah, a 2-hit fight is still better than a 1-hit fight.
Yeah, absolutely. You have some margin of error instead of none.
Right. But like I say, he as 7-8 time mentioned, Rosie Saint was able to knock him Thunderbird down to 2 bars in a previous attempt, so it can be done. It's just a matter of how nice those fireballs end up being.
Yeah, Jackimus gonna join RoseCitySaint in Thunderbird, but Jackimus may just end up getting the bad news if he gets tagged by a fireball here. Now, obviously, not exactly the first thing you want to limit test is, oh, how much damage is a fireball gonna do to me?
At this point, with 3 bars of health, it's probably safe. It probably wouldn't be that much of a stretch to just think you'll be one shot. You don't really want to get hit by any of these fireballs anyway, and yeah. Rosary Saint's got him down to 2 bars again. And down to 1.
Oh, Jackimus gets tagged.
Oof.
Yeah, and unfortunately,
There
trapped
it
in the
got him!
corner, and there it goes.
Flawless victory for Rose City Saint. Nicely done. And promptly
So all of
updates to
that-
get his magic back.
All of that, and RoseCitySaint just goes and no-hits the fight afterward anyway.
Well, sometimes maybe just a little bit of confidence can do you wonders. It's like
Yeah.
knowing that you
Oh, yeah.
that you can take a hit, most likely, unless Thunderbird was doing like 6 bars of health.
Yeah, that would be a little insane, though, Lightning Thunderbird doing that much damage, but
Now it's just a matter of we have all of GP left to go. Who knows how long this path will be to get to Darklink?
well, we're taking a drop, so it
It's
could
a
be all the rooms. RoseCitySaint not finding what he was hoping for in the blocks there.
Mhm.
Jackimus gonna have a go at Thunderbird. RoseCitySaint continuing to run to the right. See how effective this strategy is.
And if Jackimus decides he wants to grind, I would think grinding for attack would probably be the best thing for him, because we know that even going to Magic 5 is not really going to accomplish anything.
Yeah, magic levels won't help him at this point. He would actually have to go out and get the other magic jar, which would put him potentially in the same situation as RoseCitySaint was, with being able to cast shield through
Well,
fire.
He doesn't actually have shield, though. He'd have to actually go back to Nukasudo and get that.
Yeah, but that's going back to the point of it's not really a viable option to back out of this fight. At least from what Jackimus has available to him. I mean, you just kind of gotta grin and bear it, or try not to run out of controllers as you throw them repeatedly into a wall.
Yeah, and this red bird knight giving him the grief, but it will thunder them away. But it's still only but there's a red magic jar right there, so that was pretty much free.
Yeah, so RoseCitySaint able to progress through. Jackimus being somewhat gated by Thunderbird at this point. The only real difference between RoseCitySaint and Jackimus at this point, a couple levels in magic.
Oh, it takes a hit right away. Oof.
RoseCitySaint able to cast Thunder and Shield, although not needing to use the Shield's ability to keep him alive. RoseCitySaint defeating Thunderbird without taking a hit. Jackimus about the same number of attempts at this point as RoseCitySaint.
And RoseCitySaint going for the red magic jar, and oh boy, we got more members of the menagerie here.
Yeah,
but those Bluebird Knight is in a good position to be taken out, so it'll just take a little while with attack 4. And so it'll take a while to take out anything in GP with attack 4.
Yeah.
And that led to the back end of L7. Okay,
so
I didn't.
RoseCitySaint, I guess, up and aing, deciding that was not the correct path.
I didn't even see what other paths there were available, though.
Well, we know going left from the start just leads to a dead end, full stop.
Right.
So that's out. So we have to go through Thunderbird.
Yeah, I just didn't see what other options there were.
Well, this room, I believe, has the drop.
Mm-hmm.
Does going past this room... No, I guess you can't even go past this room.
Nope.
The item wall was to the left here.
Yeah, there was a elevator going down from here. I don't think... Yeah,
okay,
he went right from here before.
Take the elevator, yeah. He went right.
Yeah, this this is definitely
correct.
Different than before. Different path, same old problems.
Well, different path, hopefully different result, but...
Yeah, yes, hopefully, yes.
Jackimus...
there's an elevator room.
Alright, so RoseCitySaint has a couple options open to him.
Yep.
Putting fire at the ready so he has shield up.
Got it, found him!
Oh, nice.
Okay, then.
So Jackimus, unfortunately, getting gated out of Great Palace by the Thunderbird as RoseCitySaint onto the Dark Link fight. And RoseCitySaint just not leaving this to chance at all.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Ew, takes a hit, but it takes Dark Link down. And is victorious with an official SRL time of 43:51. GG.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic for RoseCitySaint. He'll be moving on to face the winner of Level Engine and Dr. J PhD. Unfortunately for Jackimus, that's going to be the end of his run in Max Rando tournament for this year. So we'll see if we can get RoseCitySaint in here for a little interrogation session. I almost want to ask more about the seed that never was compared to the seed we ended up seeing.
And we have RoseCitySaint here in the booth. GG, and am I allowed to roll seeds anymore?
No, I really don't think so. That was garbage. I do want to address this right off the bat. Thank you for the GG. I've said publicly before, and I mean adamantly, that I would never ever allow an opponent a reroll. I've scolded people who have allowed opponents rerolls. I've said I've said that once they ask for a reroll, you know you got them. But yeah, I was not going to sit there and try to get to Jump Cave anymore, or try to grind that Thunder until it was castable. That could have taken till Magic 5, and I was only getting 50 points per statue on the doorstep of P3 there. So I had to break one of my own cardinal rules, and that was accept the reroll. That was ridiculous. That was as stupid a start as I've seen, and I've done thousands of these. I just can't recall one that was that ridiculous. With that few options, and just the enemies were stacked, and they weren't just like Octoroks. These were like 2-3, Garayas in a row with a Moblin mixed in. It was ridiculous.
Well, I guess there's the exception that proves the rule, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And this seed too. I mean, your confidence is already shaken after you've, gone down the reroll route. And then you quickly realize that T-Bird is required here, and I was just getting wiped out. So I decided, for better or worse, I'm going to go see if I can acquire the shield spell, and thankfully I did very, very quickly, and then I realized I still don't have enough magic to cast it, and just very luckily for me, there was a cave with a magic container just like within a stone's throw. Now, of course, I didn't take a hit, during the fight with T-Bird that I eventually won, so it all kind of looks like a waste of time. But, I mean, I guess that just gave me the confidence I needed to...
Yeah, the confidence.
Yeah, that's what I was saying at the time.
Yeah, it was like a security blanket, and I could feel myself just playing a little bit better that I had that security. And also, even though the path after T-Bird wasn't horrendously long, there were a couple of waffle rooms in there, and having the fire shield really helped me along the way. I wanted it for T-Bird purposes, but I think it did speed me along.
And that was some good fortune, being able to find that extra magic container and the shield spell so quickly.
Yeah, in short order. They were ready made. That was like your like a government bailout package right there. Just sitting there waiting for you.
And it was also kind of unfortunate that this was a 2-gem seed, so that you're kind of restricted to a low attack level, which didn't really do you any favors either.
Yeah, at attack 5, T-Bird becomes a lot more palatable. When you are at attack 4, you're going to have to go with a longer fight than is comfortable, than you're used to doing, so you have to stay really patient.
Jackimus has got T-Bird down to 1 bar. And takes
of course, the second you say something, Jackimus gets tagged.
Of course.
Keeping my mouth shut until he finished that fight off, and oh, what a shame. Going back to the first seed that got rerolled, why was the palace not diveable?
Well, we didn't have the fairy spell or the key, right? So the game wasn't telling you to go in there, like, logic-wise. I suppose you could have tried it anyway, but what would I have found in there? I couldn't justify going in even 1 room's worth.
Okay.
I didn't have downstab, right? So like you're already helpless. It took me 12 hits to kill those iron knuckles. If you ran into a single door, you were stopped. I just couldn't. So that was never part of my thought.
Trying to dive in just to fish out an item then.
You
No,
still,
I mean,
you still
in
need a
fact-
key for that. Which,
Right, even if you
I
found
guess
the
it was-
item room, you'd have to get very lucky to find a key along the way.
Yeah.
That was just, I determined it was a better use of my time to grind, which, again, is one of those things that you just don't often hear me say. I don't, tonight was a night of breaking all the rules. Yeah, I'm a real bad boy who plays by my own rules. There you go. I forfeit.
Well-
I ask for rerolls.
To be
Wow.
fair, Jackimus brought up the thought first. I guess, though I don't know if you can keep SRL minimized or whatever during a raid.
No, I do keep SRL minimized.
I do the exact same thing, so
a
it would
moderator
have taken
came
a
to
lot
me.
for me to even notice that someone was saying anything.
Yep, exactly. I just trusted a moderator would come into my chat if a situation arose, and that's what happened. But yeah, this was a humbling night. So not only did I do all those things, re-roll, you saw me re-roll, you saw me grind, and you saw me leave a T-Bird fight because I didn't think I could do it, to go buff up first and come back. This was a hell of a night for anyone watching me and trying to learn how to play Z2R. This was a clinic in how not to do it.
Yeah, well, I guess it just proves we all have our limits, I guess. It's just sometimes it just may take a while to actually see what that limit is, but it does exist.
Can you guys tell me, did Jackimus make any better progress getting through Jump Cave than I did? I feel like I was just... Okay,
Nope.
I was...
You made better progress than he did.
Yeah, I was on my last enemy. I was one enemy away, and I think it was a spear-throwing moblin that got me. But yeah, just the effort to grind through that second room of Jump Cave was like you had to rehearse it, make a strategy, and just proceed with the utmost caution. I lost my patience, and that was one of the reasons why I accepted the reroll.
And in chat, Jay Coper's asking you to send him the seed.
Yeah, if I did what now? What was the question?
Jay Coper is asking for you to send him that first seed.
Oh hell, I already threw it away. I think Jackimus said he's going to save it though, so I hope afterwards someone can get Jackimus to.
Well, goodness, I still have it too because I was the tracker as well, so I was like scouting ahead to see what items to put in the tracker right off the bat. So
Yeah.
I saw what was I at least saw the one heart. I didn't see everything else that you guys would have had to do.
If reroll wasn't a thing, I had two options. I could continue to try to slink my way through Jump Cave carefully, or you could go back to that statue outside of P3 and try to grind up magic for a couple more levels and see if at level 3 or 4 Thunder would become castable. We started with Thunder, but that was just a tease. It was magic cost of 115, even at Magic 3. So that would have been the great debate. As it was, I put in so much effort to grinding out that Magic Cave the first time through. I got super lucky to survive. I can't believe I survived in that Magic Cave. I'm sorry, I mean Medicine Cave. It was the Medicine Cave in that first seat, right? And only to find a freaking 1-up at the other end. I mean, talk about a puker.
And it looks like Jackimus has had about enough as for the race. I don't blame you because that was kind of a rough thing. And we have Jackimus.
I can't see.
The booth here, GG.
I can't see the fireballs, guys.
Well,
That
if you took your
that red
Bruins hat
background.
off your head, maybe.
That red background is crazy. I hate it. I hate it when that happens. Whenever you have to fight Thunderbird with low stats, because I'm just, hoping there's not stray fireballs and I can keep the pattern because I can't make them out over the background.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I had a hard time with T-Bird too. I game overed a few times. I left and went and got the shield spell to help. That was not my finest T-Bird moment at all.
Yeah, it's hard to see with that background. I think I've been fighting T-Bird for like 25 minutes or something now, and it's just I had a couple ones where it's like I was like, yeah, all right, fine, he's down to 1 health bar here. I'll kill him in a couple hits, and then it's like, wait, I'm dead? Darn it, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, that's so discouraging when that happens. It happened to me a couple times.
Yeah, what were your levels out of curiosity when you fought Thunderbird?
I was 4-5-5.
Okay, I was 4-3-5. Shield spell probably would have helped because maybe you could survive a single hit there. Or
I'm actually not sure. I put in the effort to go get shield, and then when I came back, I beat him first try without taking a hit. So
oh, okay.
I just don't know. I think so. I think at health 5, at life 5, I think you would have survived one hit with shield.
And for the record,
I don't know if you found any heart containers or not, but I didn't. Yeah.
Nope.
Yep. And for the record, it was actually Firelink Shield in Nukasudo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never even found the town there. Like, once I placed my 2 gems and had the glove, it's like, yeah, I'm going to go into GP and see what's going on here. It's like, okay, Thunderbird's right there. Try the other way. Nope, Thunderbird required. Can't cast Thunder. All right. Go look for a magic container, come back, and fight him over and over and over again, and couldn't see the fireballs. Oh, well.
On that note, one question. What made your decision to ultimately do P6 as your second gem?
Well, I knew 3 and 4 were on the west side there, but where I was at there, I was on the east. I wandered into the place. I'm like, oh, okay, it's Palace 6. Well, I mean, I only need one more gem. I know I can complete it with the fairy and the magic key in tow, so I might as well. Maybe I'll get some levels that'll help out if Thunderbird was required, which it is. First time that's happened to me in like every single race I've done between the Swiss rounds and now, so that was neat.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, PAL 6 isn't difficult, really, honestly. There's a couple of rooms that can be nasty in the randomizer, but I mean, it's got a pretty easy boss as long as you're willing to be somewhat patient. That was fun. I'm disappointed I didn't finish, but you know, RCS has been done for 15 minutes now, and I literally cannot make out the fireballs on that background, so I'm basically just kind of playing the fight like almost blindfolded, almost. So you know.
Yeah, when you can't even see what you're trying to dodge, yeah, I can see how that could be a problem.
I just have to add that I'm proud and embarrassed at the same time to have been a part of that first seed.
Oh man, that first seed was something else. Like I still have that. I still have that file saved, and I plan on playing through the whole seed at some point. But
please post it so that everybody can experience that nightmare.
Well, I don't necessarily think it's that bad, really. The jump cave that you had to go through was nasty, but you know, it's Zelda 2. You can gain levels and make things easier, but the problem is I didn't want to gain levels for like 40 minutes because there was no good place to gain levels. That is what ultimately just made me decide that a reroll was necessary. If there was a place where you could, you know, quickly kill a couple of things for 100, 200 points, it'd be like, yeah, I'd tough it out for 10 minutes to gain a few levels, but the best thing I found was the Red Knight at 3 or 6 in that seed, and that was only 50. It's like, yeah, this is going to take forever. This doesn't seem right for a race, you know? I don't think anyone wants to watch people grind levels in a Zelda 2 race. It's not like Final Fantasy or Dragon Warrior, right?
Yeah, that's exactly how
I can see that logic.
I felt the same exact way. If this wasn't a seed that you were doing in a live race situation, yeah, you could be a little more patient and grind out a couple levels. Maybe Thunder would be castable at Magic 4 or 5 or whatever. But like, yeah, you're in a race. You're in the bracket stages. You just like, what are you going to do? Sit there and grind for a half hour? The other option that I chose toward the end was just start rehearsing Jump Cave and slink through just inch by inch and just getting one hit back away from from the most basic of enemies.
That occurred to me, but that second screen had it had 2 either red or green Gorillas and a red Moblin and no candle. It was just like, you know, if you could take more than 2 hits, yeah, sure, but you can't. Like I grinded to life level 3, and that didn't help out enough. So it was just like,
Yeah,
nah, man, I
you
think
had
we got to
no
redo this one.
downstab, no shield, no life. There was just no good way to do it. I would have had an easier time if there had been red Dyras in there.
Yeah, you can at least leer them to the corner, jump over them, and then pin them. But the gorillas aren't as aggressive. There's not much you can do about that.
Exactly. That was, yeah, I can't imagine a more perfect storm to gum up a seed and make you not want to do it than what happened there. That was a miracle of randomization.
It was fantastic to see, though, just the utter horrible chaos, like that 25-minute mark where it's like, all right, I'll ask for a reseed. It's not that I'm crying uncle, but I don't think anyone wants to watch me grind for a half hour, and I was assuming you were probably noticing the same thing at that point, because...
At one point, just before the moderator alerted me that a reroll was on the table, I was one enemy away from finishing Jump Cave. I got to the last enemy, and it was, I think, a blue moblin. I think I got hit by a flying spear, and that's when I said, "Fine, screw this. Let's pick another one."
Yeah.
One question for Jackimus. I noticed for both you burned both your gems. What was the rationale behind that?
Oh, the rationale behind that was that the levels were still cheap. It's like, if I need levels, I'll just go kill a few things. It's like, in a 2-gemmer, you want as much experience as you can, but whenever you go through Palace 1 really quick and your next level up at the gem is less than 200 points, it's like, I'm not going to wait 10 seconds for that. It's not worth it, because, I can kill like an orange Lizzlephos, Lizard Man, whatever you want to call them, and chances are it'll give me 200 plus points, and that'll take like 2 seconds. Yeah, I didn't actually end up killing any of them, but like, if the gem's less than 200, I mean, I'd rather have the 10 seconds. Plain and simple in Rando, because
I had a feeling that just save the frames was what it came down to.
Yeah. There was a moment where I burned the gem on 6, which would have given me Magic 4, where I was kind of like, maybe that would have been good, but I don't know what the Thunder cost at Magic 4 or Magic 5.
76, same.
It was still the same? Yeah, go figure. Yeah, so, no, I had to leave GP and look for a Magic container, which thankfully didn't take too long to find, but, I ran into the brick wall of the background, for me, at least.
Yeah, and RoseCitySaint it was kind of miraculous, finding shield and finding the other item cave on the east and find a magic container, and that gave him exactly enough to cast both shield and thunder.
That was insane. That was like, I just had 2 prayers answered back to back in about a minute and a half. Like, it doesn't get any luckier than that. And even at that, I still thought it was too late, and that was like too big a time waste in a race like this. But I just had to do it. It just gave me what I needed to push forward.
Oh yeah. Like, I mean, I think the respect between us is pretty mutual at this point. So, going into GP with bad stats and low life, it's like, you're thinking, well, we know what's going on here. It's going to be whoever can beat Thunderbird with these Gint stats is going to win the race, because, the other person's just going to keep trying it. We're not going to back out and gain levels or none of that nonsense there, right?
And here's one more fun fact for you, too. I think it was either the room after or 2 rooms after T-Bird was the Jackimus room. And that played with my mind a little bit, knowing you're my opponent. I think under any other circumstances, going right would be the play to make. But because this is Jackimus, I have a strong feeling he's going to go down, and I don't know if I'm ahead of him or not. So that really screwed with my head, and I just decided to press right, and that turned out to be the wrong way. And when I realized that was the wrong way, I said, oh shit, I probably lost the race, because this is Jackimus. And, just it worked out that it didn't play out like that. But, of course, down at the Jackimus room was the play.
You always go down at the Jackimus room. Always.
I know. It is crazy insane how often the room to the right of that Jackimus room is a direct dead end. And in this case here, it wasn't. Like, it was there was a couple of different passageways that led to garbage, but so often you just get stonewalled right there.
That's fantastic. I'm gonna have to watch this one back and see someone actually beat Thunderbird there, and I'm just gonna be in awe because like whenever you have that background with like all the red pixels on the bricks, I just straight up can't see the fireballs. So
yeah, I prefer a nice green background for T-Bird, to be honest.
Oh,
Even
I love
the yellow ones can get nice.
Man, my favorite Great Palaces have plain black background because you can see everything.
Oh yeah, if that happens, that's a plus too.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm out of the tournament, which kind of sucks. But I mean, I can still play this anytime I want. I can stream without losing all kinds of frames and stuff. So this may be the end of my tournament life, but it's not the end of my streaming life, I guess. And hey, RCS, I hope you clean house and just win everything forever and win the tournament because you are a good human. You are a good human.
That's very nice to hear. You may be the only one rooting for me, and that's okay.
I'm just telling it like it is.
It was a pleasure having you. I appreciate that. Yeah, always a gentleman.
And goodness knows there's never any shame in losing to RoseCitySaint, no matter the circumstance. Anyway, your next opponent, RoseCitySaint, hasn't been.
Because you're right.
And Arceus, it looks like your next opponent hasn't been determined yet, but it looks like you'll be the winner of either Level Engine or Dr. J. Are you looking forward to seeing who? Do you have any preferences one way or the other?
Definitely. I wouldn't say any preferences. I think Level Engine is probably a little more experienced at the randomizer, at least from what I see. And I've played them both a few times. I mean, they're both good players. I look forward to whoever it is.
And I look forward to watching it and ideally commentating on it there. Yes, how about that? Some nice sultry baritone calling the action.
Yes, I'll be sure to mark it on the schedule so everyone can see.
Perfecto. Well, usually I have some last words, but hockey doesn't exist anymore. So, let's go Plague, I guess.
It does in, like, spirit at least. But, yeah, I was not too pleased that the NHL season got pretty much canceled at this point.
Oh, man, tell me about it. Both my two favorite teams are leading their respective divisions. And it's like, I know regular season doesn't mean that much when the playoff starts, but you always get excited when your teams are doing good, right?
Yeah, let's really hope they can finish up these seasons. I mean, I'm not a huge hockey guy, but I am a big football fan. I was really disappointed to hear that they're going to be canceling the live draft in Las Vegas. I was strongly considering going out there. So I'm just, I'm as hurt by what's going on in the sports world as anybody. I really hope it bounces.
Oh yeah, and that's a huge blow too because Vegas just got the Raiders, and the Raiders were always my football team. So I was looking forward to seeing what was happening there.
Yeah, I know. There was going to be such a hype moment. I mean, I'm a Dolphins fan. They have 3 first-round picks. That's what made me want to go out there, but it doesn't look like that'll happen now. But I hope they make a great TV event out of it anyhow.
Well, I would just want to see the playoffs at this point. I mean, you have to cut out, some part of the season. NBA is going to have to deal with that issue as well. But college basketball tournament.
It's less of an issue for the NBA because temperature doesn't affect the sport so much. I really don't know what, even like the NBA or the NHL are going to do there if things don't get under control in the next month and a half there. But, we had some tight playoff races going, and I think, everyone's, teams that were, not clearly out of it were quite excited. So, hey, let's hoping that we can just, cure the disease and get on with all the good stuff in life, eh?
Yeah, amen.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So definitely want to shout out the runners that you saw here, RoseCitySaint and Jackimus. Drop them a follow if you liked what you saw. I want to thank my commentators, Mealy Wizard and Frico, for helping me out today. We don't have any matches in this tournament tomorrow, but the next one's going to be on Monday night, and it's a good one. Winners bracket round 2, Trailsy and Jay Coper. So be sure to tune in for that.
That sounds like a beaut. Can't wait.
As far as tomorrow's schedule here on ZSR, we've got a few things going on. A couple weekly races. The Ocarina of Time Randomizer Standard EU Weekly is going to be at 10 a.m. Eastern. And then the Minish Cap Randomizer Weekly is going to be at 3 Eastern. Also have a Ocarina of Time tournament match between Juke and Gavaroni. That's losers bracket round 3 at 3 p.m. And the Skyward Sword 80% tournament, Pika Stroff and Dr. Sensei Hugo at 4 p.m. Eastern. And you guys have any?
I have to go pee.
All right. We'll call it a night then. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow for a lot more Zelda action here on ZSR.
Thank you, everybody.